the great Chris Knuckles Nilan, number 30, Montreal Canadiens great. Hey, Nux, welcome to the show. Nice to see you at the kitchen table there. 16 games in the NHL today, including Montreal home to New Jersey tonight. These young Habs, what's going right for them, Nux, at 3-1-1?
I think their depth has really helped them in these first 5 games. They got really good goaltending last night in Buffalo, no question about it, Jake Allen, as opposed to that game in Toronto. He had a tough game where he opened a night where he let in a couple of soft goals, which didn't help. But, this team, looking at them, what's going right, they've scored some timely goals. When you look at it, they're struggling on the power play and they're struggling on the penalty kill. And that's going to be something that has to get better with this team, because if they fall into that trap and they're like that all year, and that's still early, right? And hopefully they're going to improve in that. But if they don't, they're going to end up in a position kind of like where they were last year, I believe. So they got to get that in order. They're the most penalized team in the league. A lot of, last night, 100 feet away from your net, you're taking a hooking or a tripping penalty. It's not good. So they're going to clean that up and give themselves an opportunity to be competitive every night. I think that's a big step for this team this year, being more consistent and competing night in and night out, where last year, certainly a lot of injuries, but no excuses. Injuries provide opportunity for other guys, and when that happens, you got to be able to step in and do something.
Everybody, Chris Knuckles Nilan with us, and I'm excited to have you. As you know, Knuckles, this is not the same as every other interview you're going to do, because we're brothers in recovery. We're human beings. We're a little out there, but at least we're out there together. You know what I mean? And the reason I say all that is I watched that game last night. I thought Jake Allen was really good. And you would be pretty close to the Carey Price situation as a Habs great yourself, Stanley Cup champion with Carey. I thought the plan was for him to come back and play. How's Carey doing? And I would assume by now that ship has sailed.
I don't know how he's doing. I don't talk to him. I don't really inquire about him. I guess from the outside, I probably know about as much as you. What I will say is, to me, it doesn't look like he's coming back. That's all, right? His knees too much. He wants to be able to be healthy enough to play with his kids and all that stuff. I wonder where he stands, and maybe after this season going into next. Say he starts to feel better. I mean, he's still under contract. And say this team starts to look like they're going to make that next move where they're going to really be competitive. The door, I'm sure, would still be open to him. Now, a lot of people say, he's out 2 years. How can you come back and play hockey? But that might be what he needs. You just never know. I'd never put a definite on his retirement. You just never know. When you're away from the game a little bit, and maybe you start seeing the team you used to play for start to come around a little bit, and you think, well, maybe they're good enough now where I won't have to stand on my head every night just to keep them in the game. So I never put the cover on the trash on that one. I just say you never know. But, we've seen guys come out of retirement before. It's always that possibility.
Well, the thing is, Knuckles, I heard that he was coming back from his recovery coach, and then the next thing I hear, he's leaving Montreal because that's what's best for him. I'm with you. I've heard everything. But he's still younger than Flower. And I'm not saying he is Flower. He's pretty damn good, though. And as you know, you go through what Carey's gone through, he might come back better than ever. So I guess I'm with you in terms we hope for the best. Here's another one I got for you. In the rink the other night here, they were saying 7 of the 8 teams in the Atlantic Division all think they're a playoff team. The 8th is Montreal. How does that sit with you? as a Habs alum, and I believe ambassador, that the expectation isn't there from anybody other than maybe in your own arena and in your own city.
Well, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I don't have them as a playoff team either. This is an extremely competitive division. There's no question of that. But like I said, I want to see this team be more consistent and more competitive on that nightly basis. I didn't have them making the playoffs this year. Now, could they surprise me? Sure, they could. But until they surprise me, I'm going to stay with my prediction that they won't make the playoffs. And I hope they do surprise me. I hope they prove me wrong. And they go out there and they do their thing. They just, second game, whatever, at opening night, they lose their sentiment in the two-hole in Kirby Dock. I mean, he's gone for the year.
Yeah.
ACL. Gooley got hurt the other night. He's supposedly going to come back in the next day or two. They just recalled the kid from Laval. So, right there, losing that sentiment is going to hurt. Now, hopefully you get a young guy to come in and fill his shoes, but you're going to be able to, fill his shoes and point totals and stuff like that. Not so sure.
But is the only thing they're missing is just some experience and some age? Like, talent-wise, they're there. Are they not?
Yeah, I think up and down the lineup, they certainly have some good talent, but I don't see a team that's just ready to make that jump. They got a lot to learn. They got a lot of young defensemen. What's his name? Savard's out. He's hurt now. Justin Barron stepped in for Gooley last night, did a hell of a job, I thought, waiting in the wings. So, but those guys are going to have those growing pains. It's NHL defensemen are so goddamn good. It's so hard to beat them one-on-one. And, they read plays well. They play 2-on-1s well, 3-on-2s. And, yeah, sometimes, obviously, you're not going to be able to stop those things. But NHL defensemen are so good. And it takes time for young guys to really grow into that, position, to be able to be that consistent player at that position. So that's one of the areas. And Jake Allen played well last night. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I don't believe he is a starting goaltender. I think when he gets, so much of the load playing, especially in front of a young team like this, he's not going to be able to close the door. And, I think they got two backup goaltenders. Montembeault, certainly they split the time, then, yeah, maybe they can win some hockey games. That's great. But, boy, to be able to carry the load like a Price did, or Tuukka Rask back in, when he in Boston.
Yeah.
Even last year, the Boston goalies, they could go to either one. They're two starters. And, they had it all going on. But look at the team in front of them. So, and again, sometimes I guess I seem harsh with Jake Allen, not thinking he's a true starting goaltender. I just don't. He's a great backup goaltender. He can stick his finger in the dike for a while. But, yeah, and I think if you look at his career, kind of that's the way it's been. We saw him.
Yeah, he has done nothing. He's done nothing to prove otherwise. So You're not being harsh. But I'll say this. You must love that Arbor Jack guy, I would think, especially to go into Toronto on opening night and take down Ryan Reeves. I would assume he's your kind of guy.
Yeah, I really love the kid. I think he's and what I love about him is he can play the game. You see him last night. He skated the puck from his end of the rink up to the blue line, made a great pass, gained the zone. Like, is he supposed to be doing that at this young age? The size he is and being a tough guy, I absolutely love him. And listen, the heavyweights now in this league, this division, I guess, if you will, with Lucic and Reeves, and teams have made a concentrated effort to bring some tough guys in. Toronto has. They want to be a scrappier team. I don't know if that's going to help. I think the coach is at the end there. To be honest with you, I just don't. I don't know if those guys respond to him anymore. But Abba, yeah, what a surprise and what a find. The Canadians and getting this kid, because I don't care. You win the Stanley Cup, you better have a big, strong, tough, talented team. You need it, and you're gonna have some small guys, but boy, you better have size around them. You got to insulate them well. You look, every team that wins a cup, big, strong, talented teams.
Well, I hope they can keep this gang together in Montreal because I love them like you. And I'm not even a Habs fan, but I can see the talents there. They just got to take their lumps. And that is a lot, right? That is a lot to ask. But anyways, Knuckles, I got to let you go, man. Good to see you. Say hey to Jamie Forey. How's your dog, by the way?
Well, Adele's great, actually. Jamie's in Hawaii. Her mom has some issues, health issues. She had to go home, so she's there. And my Adele is just wonderful. I just took her for a walk a couple hours off in the woods. We had a nice morning. So,
You're a lucky guy, Knuckles. You know that. You know you're the luckiest guy going, right? You know that.
I do.
All right.
You too.
Good stuff, Chris. I look around, man. I know it. Okay, enjoy the hockey. Talk to you.
All right. Take care, Rod. Bye-bye.
The great Chris Knuckles Nilan, number 30.